217 Recovery Podcast. Thanks for the whistling. We are back. And I just want to say real quick, since we're talking about family, our prayers and thoughts go out to Ryan. I talked to his sister. Well, I didn't talk to her, but through Facebook to make sure he was doing okay. And thoughts and prayers are with you, Ryan, from everybody in 217. We miss you, man. And back with my mother, Sandy, and my sister, Kylie. Mom, you kind of grabbed the mic and ran with it. Of course, we had to publish that, but now that's why we're live now, because we're running a little late.
No.
And it's not your fault. But so
That's right. It's really not.
Some people, ow, Jesus, he loves me. That's what I wanted to say.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong with me. What's wrong with you? Ow, I just did something to my foot.
He's telling us, don't cough, don't clear your throat, don't cuss, which we don't do, me or Kylie, either one. And now all of a sudden he's having a mini heart attack.
I need to go to the hospital. No, I did something on my foot. Anyway.
Sorry, people. We know you don't want to tune in for that.
If somebody wants to chat with us while they're live, they can open the chat box. I think that's just for people that are listening to Spreaker. And Kylie almost needed an ambulance, too. It almost fell out of your chair. She was trying to look at the screen. I'll break your neck. So, Mama, you were going to finish off, but like I said, a lot of people, if they're listening to this, they're probably listening to it on their convenience. So, if you want to finish your thought from the last.
Yeah, my last thought was that not taking offense. Try your best not to take offense if you've done a lot for them, and then they shut you out, and you get hurt by that. Just know that they're the ones that are having the problem with it, and they feel bad that they hurt you. It's not that they don't love you. Just keep hanging in there. Just don't give up. It can be done. It depends on how bad they want it and how bad you want it for them. Because I could have just let Corey fall asleep many nights and never wake up, but I just started doing well checks on him, and I'm sure the Buchanan Police Department got a little tired of going to his house, and after about 12 times or more, that could be an exaggeration. But I didn't care if they were annoyed. They didn't care. They were great. They were absolutely fantastic about going out there. But I think they did their best to try to stop it in their own way, which we won't talk about. But if that happened, that's a good thing, because it's got him on the right track, I feel. So just don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up.
Yeah. And just find someone else to talk to that's been there too.
Thank you, Mom. Thanks. Appreciate that.
You should have other parents or loved ones on too.
Thank you, Mom. Get right on that. You can also join the message board, as some would call it. It's the 217 Recovery group on Facebook, and there's a link to that too on our Facebook site, 217 Recovery, and of course 217recovery.com. There's some resources there, some videos, some fun times. Watch Rob get a little mad. It's good times. But Kylie, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for coming over to the studio to be a part of the 217 Recovery podcast. Matthew told me to tell you hi. So did Rob. They're always trying to, hey, you talk to your sister? Tell her I said hi. I don't understand that one.
I don't know.
Sure you don't. You've always
Yeah,
said
it's
that.
weird. It's really weird.
I don't know. Maybe they just want my approval so they can marry you.
Oh, Rob said some things to me, and there's nothing wrong with people's preferences, but I should definitely let him
Take
know.
him up on it?
No, I should let him know where mine
I'm
are.
sure you're going with
I mean, I got married on Facebook last week.
You did.
Did you see that?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Didn't last very long.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Mom was
I
right
just
again.
put my card in the mail, too.
Oh, no. Well, I'll make sure we send it right back.
After you would take the money out.
There is
we
no
never-
money in it.
Oh, yeah. Then you'll get it back
It
for
was
sure.
a heartfelt card.
Oh.
Those are the best kind.
It's like, Corey, you didn't even let me meet this girl. Like, she must be
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, girls aren't allowed unless they pass my test.
Oh.
Because
She's looking at him real
you have
serious.
some poor judgment.
Whoa.
Well, I'm just saying you do.
I have to be more gentle about how I tell him because I may end up having to be the mother-in-law to the person he brings home all the time. But I keep those thoughts in the back of my head, except the very last one I couldn't so much. But all the other kids were screaming,
You haven't even
No
met the last
way.
two, Mom.
"Oh, good God!"
Yeah, I don't know how you don't have any kids.
What?
Just saying.
Wow.
That
So-
are out there.
All right, let's
That's
switch
good.
back to family talk now. Not that
Okay.
kind of family talk. Not adding to the family talk.
Well,
Let's talk family. So,
Okay.
like, I know, like, all your friends are like, "Oh, your brother's so awesome," but like, you know that I am not all that awesome at times.
Well, I mean, you are. And then,
Until you're not.
no, not that. You are awesome. Well, you're one of my favorite people, but it's almost subjective. Because people either, like, love you or hate you.
Yeah, there's no.
That's
between.
just, we've always known that. And I love you. You're one of my favorite people. That's why this whole thing has been so difficult for me. Because it's just so scary to think about losing you over all these years. And it's like, what would I do without you? Then it's like, what would family function be without you? And how can we make fun of Mom without you too? And so that's my opinion on you. Of course, you were always the older brother, so I looked up to you a lot, like getting to grow up, and I think every younger sibling looks up to their older siblings, whether people think they're awesome or not, but it doesn't really matter what other people think of you at all, because that's none of your business, really, you know? But, I mean, my role in this whole thing has really been to support my mom. Because now that I have babies, I understand
Which
what
didn't-
she's going through. At first it was hard, but the more I kind of have a flaw where I put myself in everybody's shoes. And that can be a good thing, or it can be
Yeah.
a really, really bad thing. Means you're empathetic towards everybody. But this isn't a bad thing, it's good, because I put myself in my mom's shoes, and I understand because I couldn't imagine if that happened to any of my kids. And also, I want my kids to grow up close and always support each other. And who would I be to tell them that and preach that and not do that in my own life with my own siblings? And, I mean, the hardest part definitely has been when Corey went silent for 3 days. We hadn't heard from him in the winter. And then I saw in my news thing that there was a dead body found in a river by where he lives. And my heart just sank. I started bawling, and my husband's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, that's Corey, he's gone." And I just really feel like I experienced his death. Because I was for sure that was him. I was crying. I called my mom, called my sister-in-law, and my brother.
We
and then
all thought it was him because it was a
Yeah.
middle-aged
white
white
male.
man.
And condolences to whoever's family that is.
Yes, for sure.
And that person. But I ended up calling the cops and dispatch, and that was the scariest moment of my life where my heart sank, is when they said to describe my brother. That was like the scariest thing, because it's like, right now, he's technically alive still, but once I describe him, and it matches, he's gone, and I can't take that moment back. So it's almost like you're shifting between the two moments of not wanting to describe him and describing him, because that could just mean that it's the end of your life. And when somebody dies, it is such a dark place. It's like a dark cloud comes and swallows you up whole. And you forget about it until somebody close to you does pass. And then you remember how dark and scary that is. At least for me. Especially somebody young. And then I described him and his bumblebee tattoo. Which I'm glad he got it at that point. And they said, well, I don't think it's your brother. And of course, my heart was fluttering then and with happiness that I was able to call my mom and tell them that it's not him. And of course, I was sad for the person that it was. And I've really found that just doing little things like calling the cops every now and then when my mom needed a welfare check on him because she couldn't do it mentally was just good for her. Or even if I was mad at him, not really showing her because that's her baby, and I don't think your kids ever, unless you can mentally say bye to your kids and do that, but a normal mother, you just can't let go of your little
never
one.
stop being
No,
a mom.
especially because my mom had her kids in 2 sets, and he was her baby from the first set. And I know what it is. If your baby is your youngest is your baby.
Who's my baby from the second set?
Me. And I just saw my mom's heart break, and I just knew, and I just loved him so much. I just know that what would happen to me if I lost him, it's like I would rather have him alive. And it sounds kind of selfish to say, suffering with your thing, then that sounds so selfish, then gone, because I knew you could overcome it. There was a time when I wished that he would go to jail, because I know he's safer in jail. I know where he is in jail. Which sounds kind of cruel, but it's just, I know that he's not in a grave.
Like, it felt like that would be the final straw.
Not even that, I just knew he was safe then.
Right, and he might get more
But I really...
help there.
Not in jail. You don't get any help in jail.
And
Jail
Corey's
is pointless.
such
Waste of
a
time.
creative soul, and mind is so creative, and I understand where he is, because I get in my depressions too, where it's just hard to even function or even do anything. It's just hard to get out of bed, and I couldn't imagine having an addiction that can help you cope with that and make you go away and feel like it's okay, And I feel like
There really is help out
his
there.
loneliness was one of his biggest enemies, was being lonely and not having anybody to keep you in check. And hopefully Corey can one day live a life where he doesn't need to be kept in check.
Right.
And I think you can one day, but it just...
That's why he would get too anxious.
But I don't want you to even try, because you don't have to prove anything to anybody. There's nothing to prove. We love you as you are. We love you with 1 foot. We love you dirty. We love you clean. We love you as you are, as you come.
You better take a shower if you're going to be around me. Gotta just
Yeah,
say
but you
that.
still love them.
I remember
But-
that.
Then, I don't know, you just have to love your loved one. And if you're so mad at them, put your selfishness aside. Because in life, that gets you nowhere. And if you can't face them, if you're mad at them, take a few days to breathe and support your mom through it, or somebody that's really hurting through it, or your dad through it.
And
In
try
what
to
ways they
understand
need
why
to.
they're there for, why they keep sticking
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, and it's okay to be mad as long as you get over it. You know your ways of coping with it. I've been really mad at Corey to where, I can't talk to him. I need a few days to breathe and just get over it. And my mom will say, you need to talk to Corey. I'm like, I can't yet. I just need a few days.
That's because it kind of puts me in the middle. Like the one day
No.
we were supposed to go out to dinner and he was excited to come home, but you were still mad.
Yeah. But
And
that's
so
just, it's okay to
just
feel
like I
human.
can't, but then I
and
felt stuck in the middle.
to take a few days and breathe, but you still need to support them. And as long as they know that you love them, and that why you're getting mad is because you do love them. And it's not that you're mad.
Hurt.
Yeah, hurt. Really. And that's even
Frustrated,
sounds
too.
selfish to say, for me to say, because who am I to say I'm hurt because I don't even know what's going through his brain when he gets in those deep, dark episodes. And when I put myself in his shoes, it's just so dark. And
It's like the whole family is in it
Yeah.
together in a way. But
It's
that's
just-
what
I
families
just-
do.
yeah, and it's like I would never, if I lost Corey, I mean, one day when we're old, granted, yeah, but such a short life, and you have so much you want to do.
And then your children.
Yeah, and my
Adore
boys
him.
love you so much.
Of course they do.
And that just kills me too, like thinking. That's when I think I got mad, was because thinking about them, if they lost you, how,
It would hurt
what,
them.
yeah, as coming as my mama bear came out, you know.
It's okay.
And then I just love you through it.
But there's a huge difference between being lonely and isolating. I just wanted to,
Yeah.
But I mean, when I was lonely, I would go to that isolation place as well
Yeah.
because I didn't want to be around anybody. Nobody wanted to be around me. So
Can you describe those two?
the feelings
No,
or the difference.
between loneliness
Well, isolation.
and isolation.
Well, being lonely is, I miss you. I
Yeah.
miss my family. When I was in Arkansas or Texas or whatever, and I'm lonely. I miss them guys, and I wish I could go hang out tonight and go to dinner for so and so's birthday, but I can't. I'm just stuck here. That's lonely. And then isolation is where I just want to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
I will make up any excuse to make sure I'm alone, and then I can drink. I can do whatever I want. I just need to be alone. And I'll say whatever to anybody so I can get alone and be in that alone place, and that is when I isolate. You want to say something, Mom?
Yeah, and I can attest to that because he has stayed with us through times I've tried to support, and then there will be a period of time, and I can always tell when something's coming because I'll notice. I didn't know these signals at first, but I got better and better with them. Sometimes I would have to bring him up to him what I was seeing, but he didn't even notice it yet. But he would start isolating up in his room, and I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm this or that, and he wouldn't come down out of his room all day long. I mean, he'd just be upstairs. And
Yeah.
then he didn't like the being in check thing too much. So he got very anxious. Can't, stay for a while, but then he just got too itchy. He didn't care if he was ready or not. He just wanted to get far away from somebody being able to have him in check. But his family's too much of a pest, and they love him too much just to let him go
Yeah.
isolate. Sorry, Corey.
I do agree that there is a pattern. There's such a difference
yeah.
between isolation and loneliness. So it's not even fair to say you were lonely because you were.
But I was lonely,
Yeah.
but that was
Isolated.
one of the many things that played a factor into mental illness does too, and that's part of it. The whole depression thing. But Tyler told me that we cannot make this depressing, so we got to make it uplifting. We have to
Okay.
smile when we talk.
We could play a game.
Is
Can
that
we
better?
call him Cowboy anymore or no?
Yeah, cowboy. Where's
Can
my
we-
Where's my
does
Does
intro?
he listen every night?
He said he listened to 2 episodes.
Oh.
And he listened to 1 episode, then he listened to 2 more. Anyway, we're live, so sorry, cowboy. But yeah, but there's help out there, but we have to be ready.
Yeah.
And I wish there was something that I could say, like, hey, say these magic words to them, and then I'll get right through, and they'll want to go get help at a treatment center.
No.
There's good treatment centers, there's bad treatment centers.
Yeah, they say for every good treatment center, there's like 10 bad ones or something like that.
But sometimes it takes just one person at that treatment center to care.
Yeah.
And to actually, and not just care because, oh, well, she's cute or he's cute or, but like to sincerely care. And when you meet people like that at a place, it just gives you hope.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened to me at my last place. But, I mean, no, it's happened at other places too, but just not at a point in my life
But
where
you
I
found
was
you weren't ready enough
totally
because
ready, because
you would find every little excuse.
Yeah,
like
and I didn't want to go
the
to
bed sheets are wrinkled,
Oh
or
no, they had bed bugs.
well,
No,
that's
it
that
was-
place.
But yeah,
But
but
other places, there's always some little.
and I knew
excuse.
at a point too, I was like, I don't want to go to a sober living house. I don't want to live with a bunch of
Yeah.
other dudes. So I have to. That's what I was like, I don't want to do that, so I must do that.
I'm really glad that you are.
And, the people I met, and, Joyce telling me, why don't you do a podcast? I'm like, oh, because, people are going to say, judge me about my sober time and this and that. And she's like, well, then those people are just mad at themselves because they're not doing anything with their sobriety. And if anybody's hating on you, then that's what it is, and you shouldn't worry about it, because you're doing you, and that's keeping you sober. And if she didn't say that to me that day, I don't know. Like, I mean, things happen for a reason, and if I didn't go up to her office that day, I don't even think I was there to see her. I think I was there to see somebody else, and just sat down because I had to wait, and I like talking with Joyce. So she's a very, very inspiring person. And if I didn't go up there, I mean, it's funny how things happen like that. Like, if this doesn't happen this way, or that doesn't happen this way, or
if you stay under the shield of God and you don't go off the path, you go on your own path. God has his path laid out for you, and he'll protect you on that. But if you get off that path, because it gives you free will, he can't protect you so much. If you're going off toward the dragons and dungeons and different things. And
like I said at dinner tonight too, or maybe I said it before dinner.
You talked at dinner? Oh.
I was busy making logos. But, no, I said, it's funny how when you're doing the right things in life,
everything starts
it just falls into place, and doors just open up. Doors that you would think are impossible, they open up because you're doing the right things. And you can do anything you want. You can. But your disease and the addiction, whether it be alcohol, heroin, meth, gambling, crack, sugar. Oh, see, I'm on a huge... Well, let's talk about that later, because I'm still working on that one. But, yeah, there's help out there. But your addiction, whatever, it brings you down to such a point to where it's like, oh, well, I might as well eat this tub of ice cream because nobody loves me.
Yeah.
And whatever. Sure. At least I'm not drinking. I'll just get that ice cream out.
Yeah.
Do you have any ice cream? No, anyway. But yeah, so just remember that you can do whatever you want to do with your life, in your life, whether you want to make friends with your ex-wife or your kid's mother, do that for your kid. Do that stuff that you need to do. Don't sit there and drink about it and think, or use about it and think, oh, well, I used to have this and used to have that. Those are just things in life that you used to have that you don't have. So what are you going to do to make your life better today? Because only you can do that.
That's right. And only you know the truth about what you do and don't do. And they say that integrity isn't about what you do in front of other people, being honest in front of other people. Integrity is what you do when you're alone by yourself, doing the right thing when nobody's watching. So you're not doing it for someone else. You're doing the right thing when no one's watching.
Yeah. And the right thing, as my preacher, Justin, told me, doing the right thing every day is not going to get you to heaven. No. But it helps you be a better person. But, you still need that relationship with God. At least I do.
Yeah, definitely.
I have that relationship with God where, I can sit around and do the right thing all day. But if I don't have a relationship with God, that's not going to, work out for me very well. And that's my beliefs, my opinion. I'm not trying to push them on you, and I'm not trying to turn this into a sermon either. So... is there anything else you guys want?
Yeah, there is one thing I want to say so that nobody misunderstood.
Donate, GoFundMe. No.
Oh, can I just say
PayPal?
Yeah,
what is your advice about getting out of your comfort zone with recovery? Because I'm sure you've had to do some things that are just taking huge leaps.
Moving back to Michigan and quitting.
Yeah.
Even
living in the sober living
yeah.
house. Like I said, I didn't want to do it, but that's when I had that feeling of I don't want to do it. That's when immediately I was like, I need to do it now. I don't know how I'm going to do it, where I'm going to go. First I thought Traverse City, but then I ended up in Boyne City. But it's all happening for the right reasons. And like I said, other things help themselves. Living with people that I don't necessarily like. But again, it's like, okay, well, this, and my sponsor told me too, he's like, this is such a temporary time in your life. Like 3 months, minimum, like that's nothing to increase your chances to, remain sober, up to 70%, that's pretty huge. And
if you would have done 4 years, if you would have done that 4 years ago, you would have had 4 years down the, you know what I mean?
Well,
Maybe, but I'm just saying.
It wasn't my time.
No,
right, but I'm just saying that you never want to let go of that, thinking of go ahead and do the uncomfortable thing.
Yeah, and you can never use words like I should have or I could have.
Yeah, no. Yeah, don't think like
What? Well,
because timing.
you
falls-
could do this is better than saying you should do this.
I could go to the store right now. I'm not going to the store right now. And that's another thing I've been working on too. And I catch myself, and this actually does make me feel uncomfortable sometimes. I was writing a letter to this woman named Jessica, or an email, not a letter, and it wasn't a love letter. Jessica, what's up? But I was writing her an email, and I was saying, these are the things. At first, I typed it. I was like, these are the things I want to do. And, I'm trying to do. And then I had to go back and change it. And I told her, these are the things I'm doing with 217 recovery.
Yeah.
Having that kind of positive
Right.
thinking on things again. And it's hard and it's scary because I don't want to put it out there and then not do it. But you know what?
Yeah.
That's the kind of thinking that would hold me back before. So, hey, why not live up to it?
Nobody's listening, right?
I have no idea. I don't know how to tell. Somebody's going to be listening.
But I mean, nobody's live talking or leaving any comments.
I don't even know how they do that. I think it's through Spreaker, and I don't even know if I have it pulled up right. But thanks.
Well, I didn't finish my thought. I
Oh.
got interrupted by Kylie a little bit. But I was just going to
Whoa.
say,
We're
I
gonna
didn't
find
want
out
to
who
give the
interrupted
wrong
who.
impression earlier on when I said that people come up to me and ask me about Corey, that I don't appreciate them trying to be supportive to me. And I do appreciate that. And it's not like I don't appreciate them, checking on Corey. So I didn't mean to come across, I hope I didn't come across that way. I was just trying to say how we get stereotyped just like the addicts do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap it up.
Sandy out.
Wow, that's how she's signing off now. Listen for her podcast coming soon, and it's going to have a message board. And Kylie, thank
gonna
you
have a
for
place to
coming
leave comments.
Yeah.
and doing this. It really means a lot.
Thank you.
to
I
me.
really
And
like what you're doing with your website and your Facebook page because the support group
Even
is
if you
everything.
reach 2 people. There's probably some people who are making fun of this,
Oh, Sandy's not out. Sandy's back. Sandy's not out. Mom, we thought you
Sandy
left.
is never out.
Oh my gosh.
Never mind.
Anyways. I'm just saying that,
Next episode, we will just focus on Sandy.
No.
We won't have any subject.
Next episode's Tuesday, and I believe that's going to be... Or no, actually tomorrow.
It'll just
I got to
be
do it with Rob and Matt. Sorry, guys.
purely entertainment then.
Yeah.
For
Sorry,
lunch.
Cowboy. We'll get you.
I
We'll do
feel
it on
like I
Sandra.
support
Sandy's
those guys.
back again.
I just want to say that I do support. I've gotten to know some of these guys through your
All right.
podcast,
Ooh.
and you realize there are other people out there. They have faces. They have
All right, I got
names.
to plug my stuff in.
So I feel like I like to support them
Sandy,
too.
Not my thing. All right. Thanks, Mom. We'll
Sandy
talk about
out.
that again some other time. Have a great day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks for listening.
Sayonara,
217recovery.com.